Hey everybody, welcome to day 50. Today, yesterday I said that I was going to be talking all week about magic, about getting kind of prepped up for this coming weekend where there'll be a 10,000 person tournament going on in Las Vegas. It'll be the biggest magic event ever, and it's going to be really, really exciting. And so this week, or at least today, I wanted to talk about the allure of magic. Like, what exactly is it? How does it work? Blah, 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 blah. So, think about magic as a combination between chess and poker. Now, imagine if you could play a game of chess, but you get to choose whatever pieces that you wanted to use. I mean, obviously, you would probably just want to choose all queens, but let's say that's not the case. That's not allowed for whatever reason. But you could have like all bishops or all rooks, or for whatever reasons, like all pawns. Now, what I want you to do is imagine that every few months, a new piece was introduced that had different abilities. So let's say that a new piece, which looked like a pawn maybe, could do double jumps, like in checkers, where it could kind of move around into two different places. Now, I want you to add another level of complexity to this by instead of just like a few pieces, there are actually over 13,000 different pieces, all with different, jumping abilities or different movement abilities, whatever the case is, all happening on the same chessboard, as it were. Now, to bring in the idea of where poker kind of came in, the randomness of poker, because you never really know, let's say at the beginning of each turn of a game of chess, you draw a new piece and you don't know what that piece is going to be. So there's this really, really big overall strategy that you kind of want to look at, like, hey, what's the optimal use of rooks versus bishops? And now we're going to move all of these kind of concepts into the fantasy realm, and let's make everything, instead of just like rooks and bishops and whatever, pawns, we're going to turn these all into elves and dragons and wizards, and also add a whole bunch of really just kind of nice looking artwork to go along with it. Furthermore, for the people that have been playing for, 15, 20 years or whatever, let's say that now some of these, little pieces of cardboard are worth anywhere from a couple, maybe $20 or 20 cents, all the way up to literally thousands of dollars. And I'm sure that, maybe there was a video that went around recently where a guy opened up a pack of cards that was basically 20 years old, and one of the pieces in there, one of the cards in there, could easily be sold for upwards of like $20,000 to $25,000. So now we have a very, very high level of strategy going on of what am I going to do, what are you going to do, and we also have a level of collector's stuff for the people that just like to collect things that, gain value. Fun little fact also, the value, if you compared the value of some of Magic cards over the course of the last 20 years, it actually beats out many investments into the vast majority of stocks over the past 20 years. So that's just kind of a fun little fact. But basically how the game started off was a PhD mathematician basically created this game of playing, he wanted to have something that was portable and would not require a whole lot of things to be able to carry with him. Like, for example, like Dungeons and Dragons, you need like maps and other things to kind of go along with that. This, you just need effectively a pack of cards to be able to play. And so when it was at a gamer convention in 1993, it became an instant hit because people could play this in between rounds or whatever of playing whatever other game was going on. You could sit, you could have a 10, 15-minute game, and it instantly became massively successful. 6 years later, in 1999, Hasbro, the toy company Hasbro of ended up buying Wizards of the Coast, the company that was basically created to build up Magic. They purchased the company for something like $300 million. They clearly saw the value in this. Last year, Fox bought the movie rights to it because not only do these cards actually have, nice looking artwork, which was actually one of the initial premises of we want to have this into like a fantasy world where artists and it also started off as like community college students that were like, hey, can you do these things for us? Uh, not only is there a lot of rich art involved with it, but there is actually a very intricate storyline that weaves all of the cards in and out of the whole Magic universe, so to speak. So this is why this game actually has one of the highest. I don't know what the quite word is. I think it's like whatever the word is for people that stop something and then end up coming back to it years later, like revisitism or something, like the act of revitalizing your spirit of or passion for something. So that's why, like, I would imagine that I probably fall into the ideal target market of right now I'm 29 years old, I have a job with a little bit of expendable income, and I play, most importantly, like I remember playing when I was 13, 14 years old. And, one of my best friends ended up starting off this conversation with on, I think it was like the first day of high school actually, of, hey, were you at that Magic tournament on Saturday? So, and that was, and we've been best friends ever since. We both live in San Diego, still get to see each other all the time. And it's really, really cool that started off with this, hey, were you at that Magic tournament? So for me personally, I love the intellectual stimulation, the fact that it's sociable, and I get to go meet other people who are very, very smart and get to hang around, people that are interesting, and the I think the intellectual stimulation is probably the biggest thing because I love playing games and figuring out, okay, if you're going to be doing this, what's the next best move? So that overall is in 7.5 minutes, the allure of Magic. And over the next couple of days, I'm going to bore the hell out of all of you with going into some of what a, day in the life, so to speak, of Magic, except for I'm not going to be playing 8 to 9 hours a day like some other people do, which is, hey, you know what? There are people who make full-time livings off of this, of writing articles or just playing in tournaments and just kind of grinding away and doing the thing. And if you're at all familiar with Twitch TV, Twitch.tv, a lot of people end up watching other people play Magic, which might actually seem insane, but think about this. The number one person on YouTube in terms of subscribers plays video games. That's, as far as I know at least, that's it. He has millions of people who watch him play video games. He quit during playing college, and that's what he does. So anyway, I hope that this kind of gave you a little bit of an insight as to why I end up spending my, some of my free time and money, and the fact that we're going out to Vegas this next weekend, and it's going to be awesome.